Hey everybody, it's your boy Pete back with another video. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce the name. I'm not doing it. You're not gonna convince me to do it. It's not happening. But I'll tell you the other name for it, which is the ruler of darkness. I mean, I have that name for you. I don't know what that name is, but you know. Uh yeah, so this is the comic we're talking about today. It's a martial art, fantasy, revenge, regression story. Um Yeah, there's a lot of those out there, but I'm kind of excited for this one. The comic starts off with giving us this like harsh lesson of, there are those who believe in absolutely in the order of karma, things that, the evil will be punished, the righteous will always be, basically overcome evil. However, evil acts are always continued by people who continue to do evil things, living lives of luxury, dying peacefully, while even the most righteous of people suffer and are oppressed and die long before their natural time. The unfairness of karma and like divine judgment, and like we there's this cruel illusion that the guilty will be punished, but in reality, if if it's your time, it's your time. If it's not your time, it's not your time, right? So basically, our main character is getting this harsh lesson. He is like he's chained up, limbs severed. There's like this, the source of like his future powers. Like these like evil entities are like talking to him. Like he's at one point he's like, how could I, mere ordinary man, his family was wiped out. His eldest sister, killed by her husband, and his second sister was, her dancing was crushed and she was violated. All of his like younger brothers essentially murdered each other trying to take up his mantle, because like once his father passed, he's the eldest son, so he was to become the family head. However, they all fought over this vacant position. um he's like, how could I, an ordinary man, have stopped all this? However, we find out that he wasn't an ordinary man, right? Like he was born under the, at the age of 4, he was organizing hundreds of medical texts. At the age of 5, he was cultivating a new farming method. Age of 6, prevented a large drought from killing thousands. But he was born. The only reason why, he essentially what he did was he just looked away from all the bad and was like, it'll all be taken care of over time. It'll all, run its course. Because, he was born under the killing star, which meant if he evolved himself in the world, he had this. There's a saying that those born under the killing star will basically let rivers run of blood and massacre thousands and countless people. And so he decided that he wasn't going to get involved with anything. However, that ignorance, that blindness to like overcompensate for his birth, like being born under a star, basically caused him to look away from all the bad deeds, his family getting destroyed, as I said. you know Basically his entire, the Lugang sword house was basically massacred, destroyed, all because he wasn't, he like didn't protect it. Like he just looked away from everything, right, and was ignorant. And at by the end of the first chapter, there's the he says, that he's going, that if he could do it all over again, he'd do it different. If he had the power, he would go back and he would, change things, prevent things from happening the way he did. The beings that were talking to him and like basically having this like inner monologue argument with him basically appear and give him this like textbook called the, like, it's like a heaven defying scripture that devours all evil. And they're like, or will you take up the mantle and bring rightful punishment to the darkness of the world? And that's why it's kind of like the ruler of darkness, because it's like it's kind of like a vigilante type thing, where it's like, are you gonna go back, save everyone, and punish all those who were guilty, all those who committed bad deeds and whatnot? And he does. And by the start of the second chapter, you can see he's waking up in the past in his former body. He's like, this place is his room in the pavilion when he was younger. They said they give me one more chance, and they sent him back to the past in order to prevent everything that was happening, get his revenge on those that he wishes to, and to protect what he couldn't before because he was too scared of letting his like inner demons killing star fate, ruin everything. He's gonna decides he's gonna prevent that this time around. The art is decent. I mean, at least for the first chapter. It's an interesting premise. I do like the art style. I like the premise of the comic. I have high hopes for this comic. I really do. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to reading it, seeing if he actually can protect his family, seeing how much of his revenge he can actually get. Um, and it's a martial art story. I like martial arts, so I'm gonna read it regardless. But yeah, I mean, it seems interesting. It seems like it'll be a good one. I hope it'll be a good one. Um, yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about today. If you guys leave a like, leave a sub. Hope to see you guys more in the future. Continue to grow this channel as always, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.